I just tell myself, I'm not locked up. You know what I mean? And I'm able to continue to do what I do. I feel healthy. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I rarely even hang out like that. So, kids, family, and grounded, man. I'm a soldier. You know what I mean? I've seen what the negative side of boxing and the business can do to you. And I just kind of mentally just stay humble with my kids. You know what I mean? Even though humble isn't the word I want to use, but I stay grounded to my family.
I know we got a lot of great fights coming up this weekend, from Josh Kelly versus Bacron, from Xander Zayas versus Abbas, unification fight, from Bruce Carrington, from Jermaine Ortiz, Keyshawn Davis, from Carlos Adames to Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. But out of all the fights taking place, when you talk about heavyweight greatness, some of the best fighters out of United States heavyweights, Jarrell Big Baby Miller comes straight to my mind, and I wonder, where the hell has this guy been? 2025 was supposed to fight against Fabio Wardley, got injured, put out of that fight. Jared Anderson put out of that goddamn fight. Michael Hunter, Don King, everything that went down in that fight. Big Baby Miller is fighting this Saturday against KINGSLEY IBEH. And let me tell you guys something, man. If you didn't know, Jarrell Big Baby Miller started his professional career in 2009, but before that was actually a kickboxer. Yes, only has 2 losses in his kickboxing career. Made it, got scouted out by K1, fought for Glory Kickboxing, and for both of these organizations, he fought MIRCO Crow Cop. Only has 2 losses, unanimous decision losses, but both of them to Mirko Crow Cop, who was at the time already in his 40s, close to his 40s, past his prime. But think about that. Jarrell Big Baby Miller only had 11 amateur boxing fights, had a kickboxing background, was fighting both boxing and kickboxing at the same time, was fighting professionally in the sport of boxing while he was participating in these fights in 2013 and 2014 against Mirko Crow Cop. After the losses was when he decided to officially focus on boxing. And since then, man, I mean, he only has 1 loss. You're talking about a guy who's 26-1-2, who, yes, lost to Daniel Dubois in 2023.
Understand something. That fight, I only had, literally 29 days to get ready for that fight. I was dealing with a lawsuit, and they called me for the opportunity to fight Dubois. That's the only fight my entire career where I was ever out of shape was last minute. I asked for a rematch for that fight.
He was a very, very active fighter before running into the 2019 drug fail, everything that happened with that steroid testing. He was supposed to fight against Anthony Joshua in a unification for the heavyweight titles of the world. He had just came off a title eliminator fight where he won, and he got busted for a bunch of different steroids in his system. Now, not only did he get busted in 2019, but in 2020, another fight he was supposed to come back and fight in against Force, and he failed another drug test. So they ultimately decided that they had to ban this guy for 2 years. So Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who was very active from 2014 to 2018, literally didn't fight from 2018 to 2022, all because of everything that happened with the steroids. And even crazier, this dude actually failed another drug test back in his old kickboxing days before all this had ever went down. You know, he's been busted a lot of times. From Brooklyn, New York, is a very outspoken dude. This is a guy who can definitely sell a fight. It's always been not only exciting in the ring, but outside the ring. And like I said, 2025 couldn't find a fight. Was coming off a draw against Andy Ruiz in 2024 on the undercard of Terrence Bud Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought Jarrell Big Baby Miller won that fight. I gave Andy Ruiz the first 3 rounds. I believe I gave him either round 8 or round 9 and round 11. Honestly, I don't think he won round 11, but I was trying to look for rounds to be able to give this guy 1, 2, and 3, round 8, and round 11. Therefore, I had Jarrell Big Baby Miller winning that fight. Now, if you want to give him round 4, you can, and you can call it a draw, which it ended up being. But I really thought Jarrell Big Baby Miller deserved to win that fight. Andrew Reese came out hot, but as always, Jarrell Miller, with his pressure, with his volume, with his goddamn aggressiveness, putting his body weight on you, pushing you with his elbows. He's honestly a very dirty but good fighter, right? He uses his size and his bigness. He came in that Andy Ruiz fight at 305 pounds compared to his Daniel Dubois fight where he was weighing 333 pounds. There's a lot of people that would say after his 4-year layoff, coming back into boxing, fighting Daniel Dubois very, very soon, maybe he wasn't in the best shape of his career. Now, Daniel Dubois was lighting him up. It was a good fight, but Dubois was lighting him up worse than anybody has lit him up. So I think that was part of the reason why Jarrell Big Baby Miller started to slow down, but ultimately ended up getting stopped in the 10th round. Kind of a bad look, took some time off and returned against Andy Ruiz Jr. But when he returned, he came in 25 pounds lighter. That was why when you look at the Andy Ruiz fight, it went the full 12 rounds. He didn't get tired and looked great. The body work that he was giving to Andy Ruiz was great work. And I'm going to tell you guys something, man. He's going up against KINGSLEY IBEH, a guy who's coming off a win against 43-year-old Gerard Washington and Scott Alexander. This is a guy who hasn't lost since 2021, 16-2-1. 2 losses. If you look back early in his career, a very interesting loss to Waldo Cortez Acosta, who currently fights in the UFC, fought 6 times since March of 2025. It's broke the record. Not only that, but it's 5-1 in those fights. Just fought at UFC 324, knocked out Derek Lewis, is on his way to bigger, better things. But KINGSLEY IBEH did end up rematching Waldo Cortez Acosta and knocked him out. Then didn't end up losing. His next fight was against Jared Anderson in 2021. Got slept in the 6th round. This is a guy who was fighting better fighters earlier in his career. He fought against Guido Vianello before that fight with Jared Anderson, right? I think that was the draw fight. So, and those were only 6 rounders. So, says a lot about KINGSLEY IBEH. But, like I said, he's coming off a win against 43-year-old Gerald Washington. If you look at Jarrell Big Baby Miller, he fought Gerald Washington, I believe, in 2017. A way more better Jarrell Washington. So, that being said, I'm absolutely excited for this fight. I can't wait to see Jarrell Big Baby Miller, former K1 Glory kickboxing fighter, in boxing. Whatever you want to say about his steroids, at the end of the day, he couldn't find a fight in 2025. It's time to make 2026 a better year for him. I think this is a great fight going in here. I think KINGSLEY IBEH is going to get beat down. Maybe might have a good few early rounds, but we all know how Jarrell Big Baby Miller fights. The volume, the pressure that this guy puts on. My goodness, my people. He reminds me of a more sloppier, bigger Ajit Kabawal. Just constantly coming forward, getting hit with punches. Ajit ain't getting hit with as many punches as Jarrell Big Baby Miller. But it's very effective, man. This is an exciting fight, and I can't wait. Give it some love to my boy, Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, my friends. This is the MMA Boxing Addict channel reporting to you. I'm out.